What the heck is Star Wars mode? Okay. Okay.
My
Hi.
name is Amelia,
I'm Ben.
and we do Star Wars cosplays.
What supplies do we use? A lot of different things. If you're talking specifically for armor, there's a couple ways you could go. Mine, I have right here, is made out of a thermoplastic known as Sintra, which they use in signage for campaign signs and all that. Pretty readily available at any plastic supplier. I have one here in Phoenix. The other way you could go, one of the other ways you could go at it, is 3D printing.
Which is what my chest plate, which is the only part of my armor, other than my helmet that I have as of right now, is made from. It's completely 3D printed. And we also have different styles of armor that we're making from different parts of the Star Wars timeline.
If you're gonna 3D print your armor, don't use ABS because it will melt. It'll melt in the heat. This is made out of PETG.
Yep.
Here's that chest diamond.
So that goes right in.
Right, it was printed separately. Another one you could do this is more for helmets, but resin casting. It's a bit more expensive, but it's more durable and it gives you a much cleaner look. That's what my helmet's made from, is fully cast in resin. And when I got it, it was completely blank white. And so I primed it and then I added a base coat of this metallic silver. And then I added the green and the sandy green and the lime details onto it, which I think turned out pretty cool.
And also, for colors wise, we use a lot of spray paint.
More than any sane amount that people would buy. On the inside, they are all padded with these little helmet pads that I got on Amazon for about $11 at most. Not too much money at all. And they stick in there really well. You'd think the armor would be the hard part, but no, it's the soft parts. Well, what the soft parts are in a Mandalorian armor is you have your flight suit and your belt or whatever waist items you have. And some people will have capes or kamas, which is like it's like a kilt almost that splits down the front. So my flight suit is made from these scrubs by Carhartt. They're ripstop, so they have a really nice fabric to them, and they're super durable. I have my codpiece, my crotch plate. That's you want to keep that protected. And it's just velcroed to this fanny pack, which looks kind of Star Warsy. I use normal combat boots, but to hide the laces, I have these gaiters that are Swiss military surplus, and they buckle over your ankle and around your heel, and it covers up everything really nicely. And I put Velcro on the bridge, the tongue of it, whatever it's called, and that is how I mount my shin plates. They stick right on there, and they stay pretty well. They slip right over my boots, and they look really good. To cover up my neck, this is actually a custom piece that was made specifically for stormtroopers in the original trilogy. And it's a neck seal that would cover up your whole neck. An interesting little note is that not all, but most Mandalorians don't have elbow pads or elbow armor. So this is this is my right gauntlet, which I just use a piece of foam in there to keep it secure right now. And these are random bits of PVC and electrical tape and skewers that I Frankenstein together to make into a little blaster. Etsy is where I got my FLAK vest that I mounted all my armor to.
And the gauntlet that I have for my armor that I'm working on, which is also 3D printed, is equipped with the iconic whistling birds that you see in The Mandalorian on Din Djarin's armor.
For each of my gauntlets, I have a glove that I put on before. And I added Velcro on the knuckles, and I once again made out of Sintra these little hand plates. Gave it a primer, painted it silver, masked it off with toothpaste, and then sprayed it green, wiped off the toothpaste so you could see the silver underneath so it looked like it was damaged, and then I just attached it to the glove. For the beginning, the very beginning, even before we think about going and buying materials and stuff, we actually drew out, he drew out designs for each of our armor to kind of scope out what style of armor we wanted and what color schemes and things like that. And I think he drew up like 50 plus ideas for my helmet design. There were so many. And this one ended up being my favorite, with the 2 stripes that I think are going to continue down through the chest plate whenever we have that all done. And yeah, it's a really cool process. So my Mandalorian character is still in the works as of right now, but she's not, I know for a fact that she's not a child of the Watch, so she can remove her helmet in that regard. But I do have 3 other characters that I created, they're my own OCs, that I've actually started cosplaying on TikTok. So I have a Sith, a Jedi, and a Night Sister, and they each have their own unique stories, which is pretty cool. My Jedi character was a Padawan through the Clone Wars era, and she ended up leaving the Order and becoming what is non-canonically known as a Grey Jedi. My Sith was actually the half-sister of the Night Sister OC that I created, so it's kind of a family relationship in there that creates a lot of craziness in my Sith story. And my Night Sister obviously goes and joins the Night Sister cult on Dathomir. My Mandalorian is also not a member of the Children of the Watch. He is a Beastmaster, so his bounties are more animals and less people. If you see on my armor, there's quite a bit of damage on it, and there's a lot of chunks torn out of it, blasted out of it. Most Mandalorians would either wear armor made of Durasteel. The other Mandalorians who were more fortunate could afford a little bit of Beskar to smelt with Durasteel to make their armor just a little more strong.
And one thing that's really cool about creating our own characters and things like that is we can kind of decide for ourselves how much experience and therefore how damaged and how it is damaged our armor is. So to show you the difference of how damaged Ben's character's armor is in comparison to mine. Mine has a few nicks and dents here and there, but it's really not anything as drastic. And it's cool because, with every crack and tear that he has in his armor, he also has a story for it, which is also really neat. But that is the really cool thing about it, is creating these characters and telling stories related to stories that we already know and universes that we already know and love so much. Being able to use those and fill in the gaps and have that as a creativity outlet is so fun, and it's really cool. And this is a physical, very physical example of that. But there are other ways like drawing and writing and fan fiction, things like that. And yeah, it's all just really cool, and it's really fun to create our own characters and find how all of their stories intermix, things like that. If you want to see more about our processes with creating cosplays and our cosplays that work just in general, my TikTok handle is @Magical.Mayhem.
My TikTok handle is at _ben.kenobi_. Thanks to Fashionirsa for reaching out to us and having us talk a little bit about our passions with you.
Bye.
This is the way.